Sandra Day O'Connor,
by Avery Blumenthal,
Lauren Oyalo,
Anna McDonald,
and Jonah Berg.
Education. This leader's first school she attended was Radford School. She went to Radford from kindergarten until high school. Radford was a all-girls academy. Later, she graduated Radford and started college when she was 16 years old. After she graduated, she went to Stanford University for college. This judge majored in economics when she was at Stanford. She got her bachelor's degree in law at Stanford in 1952. After she got her degree, she changed her mind and went to Stanford Law School. While at Stanford Law School, she worked on the Stanford Law Review and got a membership with the Order of the Cross. The Stanford Law Review was a newspaper that was probably written by students. She took 2 years instead of 3 to complete law school because she was very smart in terms of law. In 1952, she graduated third out of a class of 102, which shows how smart she was. Later, she had a lot of success in her education, but thinks her grandmother was a big help.
Sandra Day O'Connor established her own private practice in Phoenix, Arizona in 1960 and became involved in Republican politics. Her life changed in 1960 when she was appointed to the Arizona State Senate to fill a vacant seat, and she was reelected the year before Ronald Reagan had been elected president, and he had promised to appoint a woman to the U.S. Supreme Court. In 1969, she made the move to state politics and was appointed by Jack Williams to the state senate to fill vacancy. President Ronald Reagan nominated this leader in July 1981 to fill vacancy left on the Supreme Court by retirement of Justice Potter Stewart. She was unable to employment in the law firm because she was a woman. As a member of court, Sandra Day O'Connor was considered to be modern conservative, but women lawyers were rare in those days, and she worked as a prosecutor in some county. On her first year on Supreme Court, she was surprised by the amount of scrutiny she received. O'Connor provided the vote needed to uphold the court's early decision. As a judge, O'Connor developed a solid reputation for being firm.
Sandra Day O'Connor's court career started in the final month of the 1980 presidential campaign when candidate Ronald Reagan announced that if he was elected president, he would put a woman on the Supreme Court. Ronald Reagan was then elected president and kept his promise by putting Sandra Day O'Connor on the court. On September 25, 1981, she was officially sworn into the U.S. Supreme Court, being the first woman in the 191 years of the court on the Supreme Court. In her years on the Supreme Court, she was usually considered the swing vote, which was the vote that decides the result of an election. Sandra Day O'Connor was the only woman on the Supreme Court until 1993, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg came onto the court. Sandra Day O'Connor announced her retirement from the court on July 1, 2005. After that, President George W. Bush named John G. Roberts, Jr. her replacement. But after the death of the Chief Justice, John G. Roberts, Jr. moved up to Chief Justice, leaving Sandra Day O'Connor's spot empty. When the new year started, Sandra Day O'Connor was unexpectedly still on the Supreme Court, so Samuel A. Alito Jr. took her place.
Sandra Day O'Connor has accomplished a lot of stuff in her life. Some of her accomplishments are: Sandra received membership in the Order of the Cross. Sandra also started her own firm with a single partner, then served as a civil attorney for the Army from 1954 to 1957. This voter served as a lawyer in the Courtmaster's Corps. O'Connor also began an involvement with the Arizona Republican Party. State Republican leaders urged her to consider a I need to third over. I messed up. A campaign for the governorship in 1978. This lawyer successfully defended her Senate title. The speaker accepted a job as the deputy country attorney for San Nato, California. This judge also was appointed to the Arizona Court of Appeals. President Ronald Reagan nominated this leader in July 1981 to fill the vacancy left on the Supreme Court. She was elected judge of the Supreme Court, and in 2009 she received the U.S. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Sandra Day O'Connor accomplishments, fun facts. In 2009, she received the U.S. Presidential Medal of Freedom. She successfully defended her Senate position, and she served as a lawyer in the Courtmaster's Corp.